how you doing? It's your boy Dave Partner. I want to do a quick business lectures here. Like I told you from the beginning of the year, my aim this year is to raise 100 millionaires. All right. I want us to do a convention at the end of the year where we have multi-millionaires from this channel gather physically and have a convention. All right. So I want to talk about something called scaling. All right. To scale an idea. All right. Now, scaling is related to growth. Scaling means that let's say you are running a business at a small stage or small scale size. Now you want to expand it to something bigger. That is scaling. All right. There are some technicalities involved which I would like to quickly point out, and maybe you look back at whatever you're doing now and start seeing with a deeper eye how to grow that thing bigger. All right. So before we look at scaling, let us look at what growth is. So according to Wikipedia, not Wikipedia now, Google, growth is the process of increasing in size. All right. An example is the upward growth of plants. All right. There's look at the synonyms: growing, extension, widening, thickening, broadening, heightening, swelling. All right. Magnification, ballooning. All right. So these are the terms you also use to describe scaling. Scaling means to increase in size, to scale. All right. Let's say a tablet. You know, a tablet that you can use on your hand. An electronic device. It is just basically a phone that is scaled, like an Android phone. When you scale it in size, it becomes a tablet. All right. So that is what scaling is. Now, scaling is applied to businesses and ideas. So whenever you conceive an idea for a business, the first thing you want to ask yourself is, can I scale this idea? You want to take it to the largest extent and see whether this idea can perform well under duress, all right, under growth. So some things might sound cool and clever when they are small, but once you start looking at it in the terms of, can I grow this, you will start saying that it cannot hold. All right. So I'm gonna give you some examples, but let's look at the thing more critically. So now, to scale, you need, first of all, need to have something running. All right. So if you want to check whether something can scale, you need to first of all imagine it running at a small size first. Then scaling is rapid. All right. So you want to quickly grow it to this point. So let's say it took like 2 years to grow from 0 to this place. Let's say this is 10, and you want to scale it. Within the next 2 years, you might grow it to 1,000. That is what scaling is. So an idea or a business process doesn't just have to withstand a increase in size. It also has to withstand a rapid increase in size. That increase in size is rapid. All right. Let's say you're running a business in a small shop in front of the street where you are now, and all of a sudden, somehow, government gives you a loan, or somebody just invests in your business. Let's say normally your running expenses are around $5,000 per month, but you suddenly raise a loan of 100 million, or have a cash injection into your business of $100 million. You understand? They are saying basically, take this money, go and do this business all over the world, spread it, increase and multiply. Can that business withstand that growth? So many businesses can't. You'll be surprised. So a good example is, I want to be a conductor. All right. Somebody can tell you, do you know, as a conductor, you can make $2,000 per month compared to being a cook. I want to switch from being a cook to being a conductor in the streets of Lagos. You can be making XYZ amount of money, blah, 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 blah. All right. Truly, when you're a conductor, you can be making that amount. But can you grow it? Let's say you don't want to be making $2,000 a month now. You want to be making $100,000 a month. Can you scale being a conductor, bus conductor? If you're Nigerian, you understand what I mean. You understand? Can you scale being a bus conductor or bus driver? Can you scale it? You see, it's not scalable. So most times you want to go into business, or somebody is calling you that I want to start a business. Some of you that are abroad, your siblings in Nigeria, I want to start a business, I want to do XYZ. The question is it scalable? Alright, you don't want something you start and it becomes a rat race. You know the thing with rat race? The thing with rat races is that even if you win, you're still what? A rat. Okay, so some people, employment is not scalable. Let me say 99% of employment is not scalable. So you could graduate with flying colors, get some job in some company, and they're paying you from zero as a broke graduate. They're paying you 300,000 naira. You get? Can you move from that 300,000 naira in that employment and get to, let's say, 50 million naira per month? From 300,000 naira to 50 million naira per month, you can't do that. You can't scale like that. All right. The highest they can do is at the end of the year they increase it to 350,000 naira. Then next year they increase it to 400,000 naira. Next year they increase it to 500. You know, it's not gonna get to that millions. Millions you're waiting for. That employment cannot get to there. In fact, according to Nigerian civil service, before the highest amount you can earn, I think, is somewhere around 1.2 to 1.5 million. I think so. That's the highest amount a civil service holder can be paid. All right. So you scaling from the initial 70,000 naira per month, the maximum, there's a limit. The maximum is 1.5 million. So if you want to live a normal life, which so many people are comfortable with, I just want to do my thing and get old and get my retirement benefits and blah blah blah. You get, some people are good with it. But if you really want to grow and leave some inheritance for your children, you want to build an empire, you can go through that kind of employment. I'm not saying all employments are like that, but let me say 99% are like that. That it's not structured for you to grow astronomically. No, you can't grow. You can only grow arithmetically. So there are two types of progressions. There's arithmetic progression and geometric progression. If you study statistics, you already know what I'm saying, but I have to break it down for people that did not study statistics, all right? Without going into the mathematics and seriously trying to avoid mathematics terms, arithmetic progression is a progression that simply increases let me say, there is a common difference. Okay, look at this now. An example of arithmetic progression: there's -2, there's 3, there's 5, there's 8, there's 13, there's 18, there's 23. If you're looking at this, you see that they are just adding 5. Alright, the difference is just common. They're just adding 5. So you start at this 200,000 naira salary, you get to 300,000 the next year, you get to 800,000 the next year, 1.3 million, 1.8 million, 2.3 million. It sounds okay, but the way they're increasing it is constant. Alright? So it's just a constant number that they're using to increase it. Now, what does that do? The growth is not astronomical. This growth is just very sequential. It's not astronomical. You get what I'm saying? This is normal arithmetic serial growth. But when you look at the same kind of growth in geometric sequence uses a ratio to multiply your growth. So look at this one: -2, -10, -50, -250, you see how fast this one is growing. This one is just still at 23. This one has already gone to 1,250 in just 5 steps. So if you are in a normal paid employment, you're growing like this. But if somebody is an entrepreneur and they grow, you know, entrepreneurship, sometimes you don't grow. Sometimes your whole ideas just become rubbish, okay? But when the person grows in entrepreneurship, the growth is like this. So a good example is two people finishes school, the first person gets a job, the other person starts as an entrepreneur, all right? And happens to be successful. Like I said, not all the entrepreneurs are successful. So if this second guy happens to be successful, and I'm telling you within 3 to 4 years, he will employ the one that went to get a job. Because if you get a job, let's say, I'm not talking about getting a job, I'm using it as an example. I'm not talking against it, or I'm not saying it's wrong. I'm using it as an example to highlight something about business that I'm showing here, all right? So if you get a job at 300,000 naira per month, the guy that started with geometric progression, the business guy, or you understand, he might start with 70,000 naira, or even nothing. Sometimes your business don't make nothing in the first few months. All right, maybe the person starts blogging. First year of blogging, you don't actually make anything. All right, so gradually the thing starts tripping in. From 2 you get to 10. All right, so the second year, then the third year, then the fourth year. But so because of the geometric increase, it's increasing so fast, you understand, by a ratio, not just by a common difference. You understand? So let's say some people's growth happens 10 times per year. First year, the person starts from 0, and at the end of the first year, they end at $10. You understand? They're earning $10 by December of the first year of business. But the person that got a job might be earning, let me say, $2,000 first year of business. But the guy that is earning $10, he's going to grow another 10 times in the second year, which is what? At the end of the second year, he now has $100. The guy that has $2,000 per month that took regular employment might now be earning $2,500. Okay, so you see, it's still much. So that's $2,500 compared to $100. The next year, the $100 guy is going to grow by another 10, which is $1,000. It's nearing. The guy that earns $2,500 might be earning $3,000 now because he's getting promotion in his employment. But what happens in the fourth year or third year is what is going to surprise you. The fourth year now, the guy that's earning $1,000 is moving to $10,000. You see, he has passed this guy that's earning $3,000. Now, guess what happens in the fifth year? He's going to grow by what? Another 10, which is now $100,000. And this thing I'm telling you is real, because I've seen people, especially in sane economies. There are some economists that are saying some economists are mad. You know what I'm saying? Some of our economists in these African countries are just totally crazy. So if you're abroad in a country where the economy is built to enable your you should start looking at geometric sequence. You should start looking at ways of making money that will give you geometric growth. I'm not saying you should quit your job. Okay, while you're doing your job, you should start looking at, is there a way? All right, I need to find an alternative means of income that will provide me what? An opportunity to benefit from geometric sequence. While I'm taking my salary every year, something else I'm doing is growing by 10 every year, by 10 every year, 10, 100, 1,000, 10,000, $100,000. In fact, by the time it gets to third year, you have already started earning $10,000. What do? You can quit your job because it's now more. So most these things are not taught in school when it comes to finance, even in business school. All right, they teach so much theory that you forget that in practicality, some of these things, there's a way you can implement it. So a good example of geometric progression in real life in a country like Nigeria is politics. You see a random street tout that all he knows in life is how to smoke. He joins politics. He becomes a political thug. The other guy goes to school. You graduates with flying color. The political thug is managing to go to school, a normal school of 4 years. He schools it for 7 to 8 years. You get what I'm saying? He's failing and managing and everything. The other guy goes to school, gets masters, gets PhD, becomes a prof, and he's earning how much? Over the space of 15 years, this guy becomes a prof, and he's earning how much now? Let's say a prof in Nigeria earns, let's say, 1.5 million naira. Like to be very generous. Okay, I know that some of them do work in several other universities to accumulate income per month. Let me just put it at 1.5 million. It could be a little higher, a little lower, but 1.5 million is okay. And before you become a prof in Nigeria, on the average, not all the time, you're at least above 40, 50. Like if you did your professorship early. Some people do it just 5 years before they retire. So let me put this prof at 45 years old. Okay, he's earning 1.5 M per month. The tout that started at the age of 18 smoking, joined bad gangs and all, he starts growing gradually in politics. Before he turns 45, he becomes the governor of the state. I'm telling you the truth. Now, if you compare the income of the governor of the state to the income of the professor at 45, the difference is too wide. In fact, the governor has to employ the professor, not just one, but thousands if you want. I'm not saying that joining thuggery is good, but I'm saying that that provides a geometric progression. All right, instead of arithmetic, the growth in income there is geometric. So I want you to start seeing real life scenarios where income growth is geometric. Okay? So if you're a prof, what then do you do to ensure geometric progression? One thing you can do is, in as much as you're a professor, you can join politics. So you're earning your normal salary as a professor, you are doing your political lobbying. I don't know whether professors are allowed to become professional politicians, but I think so, because Osinbajo is a professor. And he's smart, you see. He's not just a professor, he entered politics, which is an area that also guarantees geometric growth. And the thing, like I say, with geometric growth is that it doesn't always start as fun. Sometimes it starts from zero. You have to be humble, leak asses, this, that, for months, for years. So for years, you have to do all those things. But after that, once it starts growing, it starts growing from day one. But once the growth starts getting visible, each year is going to multiply. Each year is going to the number of people you know, the number of connections you go is going to increase by 10, 50. You understand? So I know somebody that went into business, and his growth in 8 years was 640 something thousand %. You know, 100%. If you have 100 naira and you grow 100%, you have 200 naira, right? Somebody grew 647,000% in 8 years. He became a multi-millionaire. I think it was from $800. It was worth like $450 million within 8 years. And how did it happen? He was a soldier. He joined the army around age 18, and around age 22 or 23 or so, he finished his short service. And the day they were giving them award, pinning medals on their chest for finishing their short service, now you have to decide whether you want to join the army fully or something. You understand? So he wrote application to be reaccepted into the army. Okay, but on that he wrote it before that day they were christening them. Okay, but on that day they christened them. As he was stepping out, one of his old-time friends met him and was like, "Oh, congratulations! Why don't you join the investment business, stock brokerage or something like that?" And the guy was like, "Okay." Say, "Look, if you join with this your concept and everything, you will succeed. If you grow well, you will get to this point within a few years." The guy was like, "Why do I have to go risk myself killing people and getting killed as a soldier when I can just be a stockbroker?" So he went to Wall Street. The guy that called him connected him to Wall Street, and he started learning from there, from being a killer to being a financial a guru. You understand? As soon as he finished his training and the growth stage, he now started his own, and boom, 8 years, he landed at $450 million. So that growth is astronomical. All right, that is geometric growth. Maybe when he was working in Wall Street as a staff and all, the growth was arithmetic. You understand? But as soon as he was done and he went off on his own, boom, he entered geometric growth. So I don't know what you're doing now. You should start looking at geometric growth. And you know that geometric growth in life involves increasing your knowledge all the time. That is how people grow. Let me give you an example. If you look at the streets, there are some people that will be selling in the streets. And for 50 years, they are still selling in that single shop. There was an old town I used to live when I was young. Last week I went there. Just decided to drive the whole town. Okay, I wasn't looking for anything. I just wanted to see development that has happened. So I saw that there were places people were putting on new houses, places that were the bush forest before. The places have been cleared, new houses, new this, new that, new roads have been charted in places I never knew. You get? But then, in spite of all this development, you still see some shops. They are still exactly the same size they used to be. Still exactly the same size they used to be. Alright? So, that made me start thinking that these guys will never improve. And what is their problem? Their knowledge base is not improving. What is only advancing is their age. Their knowledge and understanding of that business is not growing. You get what I'm saying? So, for instance, I know somebody who was a pharmacist. He was running one shop. Till today, I'm talking to you, he's still running that one shop. After so many years, what's wrong? He did not sit down one day and say, let me start taking courses on how to grow one shop to many shops, how to manage multiple shops. All right? How do I get investments? Let me take a course on investments. All right? Let me go to Lagos Business School and learn more about business. So this my shop, I can now spread it to different cities. He never did that. So he's stuck in that one shop and he's going to be stuck there till he dies. So your growth in your finances stops the moment you stop learning. If you take any new course, after some time, you'll start seeing it reflect in your income. If you come to Nigeria, there's this rave about people beefing motivational speakers. You understand? Anything people say, they will tell you that, man, I don't like motivational speakers. But truth be told, when you look at the people that don't like motivational speakers in quotes, you look at their income, see that there's a problem. You understand? They already have financial problems, and that not liking motivational speakers is just one of them. Now, I'm not defending motivational speakers, you understand? But motivation works. Alright? Some motivational speakers, of course, are messed up, you get. But when you're being motivated by the right person, it works. It works. You understand? If you go to Facebook, you see some of these Prince EA and how many of them do? Even Miles Monroe. Sometimes I just go and listen to go to YouTube, get Miles Monroe for 2 hours. I'm listening to this man. You understand? He's not teaching. I don't agree with all the business principles. You know, some of these people that are pastors, they will mix you pay tithe with it, so that they will collect their own money from your pocket. You understand? All those parts I cut it out. But then I narrowed down on the motivation, the inspiration, sometimes some business principle. If you come to Nigeria, you see pastors like David Oyedepo. I like to go and read up his story. How did he start as a young man, you know? Even though I don't agree with everything he says, but the motivation that works, it gives you inspiration that wherever you are now, it is possible. You have Sam Adeyemi. You understand? If you listen to this man, he's always spitting wisdom. Even though sometimes, you know, you will choke all those small, you pay tithes, you pay offering, and God will bless you. After saying that, he will now give you the correct, or the one I agree with as correct, personally, okay? So motivation works. So people turning off motivation entirely is wrong. But also, if you feed only on motivation, you're never going to move. Because motivation is just driving you up, you know, increasing your adrenaline that you should go and do something. But you actually need to know what to do, which is different, which is what I'm doing in this channel. I'm showing you practically what to do to grow. I'm showing you, telling you that you need to believe and conceive and you will achieve, blah, blah, blah. No. I'm also showing you, look, this is what you need to do. Okay? A good example of another good example of arithmetic growth is a church. People start running a church. When the pastor first starts, he's broke. In fact, some pastors don't have a place to run their church. They have to jump into buses and preach to people that are traveling. Then gradually like that, they start gathering people under the bridge. If you go to some under bridges in Nigeria, like church is like the most prosperous business in Nigeria, the leader. You understand? When the pastor is fake, even real pastors, the money they make from churches is just unbelievable. It's mind-boggling. Like if you sit down one day to calculate it, you'll be like, wow. So a random pastor starts under the bridge, okay? Now he has 10 members. Now he has 15 members. Those 15 members, they might be paying total tithe of, let's say, 15,000 naira per month. But gradually, they're going to bring their family members, they're going to bring their friends. After 1 year, if you get back to that church, as long as that pastor keeps growing, all right? They are growing in knowledge. They are meeting their father in the Lords that have bigger churches that are showing them the secrets. All right. So you have to organize your choir this way. You have to organize this that way. You have to do this. You have to do that. And they are growing in knowledge. That church will keep growing as long as that pastor keeps growing in knowledge. So within 5-10 years, in fact, within 10 years, that church you see that you used to see under the bridge, where you're going to see it is that they are building the biggest church in the world. That's geometrical. But if you look at the the counterparts of that pastor that is in the business world, not business world, the employment world, you see that they can no longer compare. When I was in 100 level, a young man, our classmates, switched and started his own church. Say God called him. First of all, he was playing band in another church. Then after that, he switched and said God called him. That was how he started. He started his own church. So when he started that church, he was playing band. They started attacking him. They excommunicated him. They were like this, that. He's too proud. He's this and that. But they couldn't see what the young man was saying. So by the time he got to final, we are getting to final year, school has already rusticated him. They denied him certificate. He was missing classes and this and that and that. But by the time we were getting to final year, this dude already had a car. Most of us were broke. That's when I started saying that it's like his growth is much faster than our own. And then as a young man, I couldn't figure out why. Why was he growing faster even though there was so much hatred around this young man? You understand? By the time people were doing MSc, his church has grown to almost 5 branches. This man is running around states. And he was still like 20, let's say 25. Going around states, and he called him, his name is now Prophet. I will not call his real name. You understand? It's Prophet, whatever. You see his posters everywhere. He's flying around the country, being a visiting evangelist to different. Like seriously. Yeah, and if you see where this guy is doing miracle here. So I couldn't understand the science behind it. What I was just seeing was the technology. Church is going, we are studying school, blah, 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 blah. But the science behind it was that he was operating a different kind of growth system. It is geometrical. So even though he was doing the work God called him to do, according to him, his system of growth was different from the one we were following. And I want you to also know that you need to raise your children that way too. So that they can, even as much as they are following arithmetic growth, they should start looking at geometric growth on time, because geometric growth might take time and may not make sense in the beginning. So while it's not making sense, you should have a steady stream of income. Now I know many ladies that are doing beads, like let me say 50% of ladies I meet in Nigeria, they are doing beads. They make beads and they sell it. Now they can, if you ask them when they started making beads, some people have been making beads for the past 7 years and you're still making beads with your hand. That is no growth. Why is there no growth? Because they are not growing their understanding of business. They are not expanding their knowledge. Knowledge is not growing. And since the knowledge is not growing, it has shifted them from what? From geometric growth, switch them into arithmetic growth and gets them stuck there. Okay? So I have a course. Course 2 is coming out. I've done course 1 that shows how to do business from home on the side. A business that has the potential to grow astronomically. That's a geometric growth. In fact, people that are wise, once you see that course 1, you would have instantly spotted that this is actually geometric growth. Like me now, my eyes are so trained to see such opportunities, growth that can scale. So let me show you. Visit brainterm.org. Alright, you'll see our course platform, and we have one course on it for now. Alright, there's a second one coming. There's a course for it now. It's called Online Business Course Level 1, Easy and Profitable E-commerce Business for People Without Capital. Alright, so but this is operating at a level or a type of growth that is called geometric growth. So if you read through what the course is offering, you see people are able to move to this point within 30 days. Look at this. This one is within 5 days, from Sunday to Saturday. So people are taking screenshots of their account. This one is 30 days, from 0 to 30, day 30, 104,000. And the cost goes currently, because it's increasing. The original price is 2,500, 12,800 as of today. So, but when you look at it, you see that this is offering a geometric growth. So the first month you start this course, most people, in fact, the first 2 weeks, let me say 90% of my students don't make any money the first 2 weeks, because either they are still trying to understand the whole process, they're still trying to get the products, see whether they can sell it or whatever, or asking me questions and all. First 2 weeks. But the next 2 weeks, let me say almost 80% of them starts making profit the next 2 weeks. Now, what happens once you start making profit? Now you can grow. Now you can actually go back to your savings. If you start making profit and you've made profit for 2 weeks, now you've seen how it works. You can now go back to your savings. Bring in extra money, pump into the business, and it will blow. That's geometric. That's geometric. That's the kind of opportunities you should start looking for as a young person or somebody that wants to go into business. Alright, so anytime somebody brings up ideas to you, let's do business, always think of it, can this business scale? When it grows to 500, now we have, let's say, 100, 200 customers and we're able to satisfy them. Can we still satisfy them at 1 million customers? A good example is a tailor in the street. A young girl finishes, that's why I don't even support anybody learning tailoring, unless you want to go into fashion design. Okay, but if you're just learning tailoring to start it as a business, you're not going anywhere. The kind of brokenness that will get you. The reason is the way it is operating. It's operating arithmetic growth. So a young girl or a young guy, a young girl finishes graduation, tries to find work, no work. Now she learns tailoring. The moment she's done with tailoring, she opens a shop and starts sewing clothes. Once she starts sewing clothes, her income moves from 0 naira to, let's say, 10,000 naira, or let me say 30,000 naira per month. Let me even put it at 50,000 naira per month, because she can sew 5 clothes throughout the month. Okay, every 3 days she's releasing a new cloth and she charges about 10,000 naira per cloth. So let me say 50,000 naira per month. That's income that makes sense, right? But the problem is that she cannot move to 250,000 naira per month. How is she going to do it? Her maximum capacity is producing 1 cloth in 3 days. She can't do any magic to produce 1 cloth per day. It's not that easy. You get what I'm saying? Unless she starts studying how to produce, she has to start studying how to produce more than 1. Now, the way some companies scale it is do a scaling on production of cloth is what? They start producing only 1 type of cloth, like only t-shirts, or only trousers, like denim jeans, like Gucci, like this. Sorry. So because they're producing that, they don't need human beings to actually sew the clothes again. They're just going to build a machine that produces exactly that kind of cloth. But if you are sewing variety of clothes, different varieties, somebody will come to tailor, snap something on Instagram, give tailor to sew. That tailor cannot make money from that. You get? Because that thing consumes their time. They can't scale. They can't produce 50 of such clothes in 1 month to make $1 million, to make a killing and buy Benz and start doing Zanku dance, leg work. They can't do that. That's why every time you see a tailor in Nigeria, they are struggling. Unless they scale it in another way. One other way to scale it is to start doing tailoring for rich people. You get? You sew tailor for Zara Buhari, they summer you $10,000 once for just 1 cloth. You get what I'm saying? Even barbers, there are barbers that I met a barber. He's from the US. Yeah, he said he has barbed Obama, Clinton. He's the official barber for the presidents and presidential families in the US. And he's a black guy. You get? He has scaled it in another way by scaling the customers. Alright? The income, the average income of the customers. He has moved from low income customers to high income customers. That's another way. So if your business is not going to be scalable in any way, don't do that business. It's just going to tie you up and tie up your time. That's the thing with arithmetic growth. You're working as an employee. It's not just that they're paying you just enough to do the job. They're also taking up your whole month. Like you can't even go to the movies. You can't go take another course. You can't go do double job. Like one job is taking up your whole month and just giving you just enough to get by. That's the thing with arithmetic growth. So look at a university lecturer. Even though they are barely paid enough to take care of their children. See, a 50-year-old man earning 1.5 million per month is not earning enough money. Because before you pay school fees of all your kids abroad, the money is finished. You get? So this man is 50 years old, is earning 1.5 million naira per month, and they're taking his whole time. He can't say, let me stay out of school for 3 months and try and start a new business. It's not going to work. You have to be in school every day teaching. That's more 1-2 days in a week you can't be in school. You are moving to another school to go and teach. So that's the thing with arithmetic growth. So if you are working somewhere now that they are taking your time, like something is taking your time like that, look at it. It's most likely arithmetic growth. Geometric growth can give you freedom. You understand? It can give you freedom to move around. So we're releasing, this is course 1 for people without capital. Okay, if you're starting from 0, that's course 1. But course 2 is coming up. Course 2 is for people with capital already. You're already working, you're earning decent amount of money, but you want to get to the multi-millions. That's what course 2 is about. So course 2 is not just a course that you buy and take. It's a master class. So you take the course and I'll be there with you from 0. All right? And every 2-3 days we're calling, we're meeting, we're going through everything until you start making $5,000-$10,000 per month. Then I can leave you, which means I'm now sure that you can now carry on. All right? So that is course 2. And it's not going to, like everything I do, I don't like things that take my time. It's not going to take time. So I want you to start making that $5,000 within the first month, within the first 30 days of taking that course. You understand? So we're going to go in, and of course it's not going to take your time. Like I said, this course is designed for people that are already working class. So I understand that you're working class and you need to switch to geometric, all right, progression in your income. So it's not something that will take you time. We're not looking for businesses that will take time. So course 2 is the second version of this course 1. So this course 1, if you've taken it, you see that it's manual in some places, like delivery. That's where some people have problems. So course 2 is automatic. You set up everything online, it works. All right, you just be putting money into adverts. So it's not for people that don't have money to put into adverts. I mean, you put $20, $30 into advert, and you reap like $3,000. Those are the kind of things I'm looking at. So you can pre-order course 2 in the link below. So if you check the link in the description section below, you can pre-order course 2. And if you feel that course 2 is expensive, then it's not for you. Please just revert to course 1. All right, when you have made money with course 1, you can now come for course 2. All right. So but if you look at course 2 and feel it's something you can do, then you are the right person for it. Pre-order it, all right, with the current discount we're offering. Okay, so course 2 is appearing in the next 7 days this week. We're releasing course 2 this week, so everybody that ordered before the release date is going to get it far cheaper. So thank you very much. If you watched till this point, I'd like to see it in the comments. Tell me I watched till end. I want to know my real fans that are able to stay and watch till end. And if you learned anything at all from this video, you understand, if you learned anything, let me know. All right, I want to know if I was able to make a serious impact in the way you think in this video. All right, don't forget to subscribe to this channel and share. Maybe somebody in your Facebook just needs to hear this message. Maybe this is just what they want to hear. All right, maybe this is just that message that will change your life. So share to your WhatsApp, share to your Twitter, and then to Facebook, and tag people that need to watch this. All right, thank you very much, guys. See you, and I hope you end up with a geometric growth this year. I want to see your income grow astronomically. All right, I want you to buy me a boat, you understand, with gold rims in it. Thank you very much. See you guys.